Hi, my name is Jaemmie Cañas and I am Bruin Pride. So I applied to 7 universities. I was accepted into all universities. However, so in March we received acceptance letters, and in March, however, right before my acceptance letters, I was involved in a car accident. I was hit by a car while I was on my motorbike, and it was almost fatal. And I, without being and wanting to try being dramatic, I actually was in a coma. I woke up from a coma 38 days later, and after I woke up from my coma, I was told, I was probably not going to walk for at least a year. I had completely broken half of my body, including my face. I mean, it was pretty bad. And when I opened all my admission letters, one of them was UCLA. Mind you, UCLA has been a dream school of mine. Even though I applied to Berkeley, I was accepted to Berkeley, I said no to Berkeley. But I had already made networks and connections here at UCLA with other programs, CCCP and AAP. However, there's one thing, I couldn't walk. And I was told that for now I had to recover and I had to recuperate, and they didn't know, they thought I was actually going to have brain damage, which I know I have a lot of neurological damage still now, but I'm alive. And so what happened was that I accepted UCLA's admission, and somebody had told me about TSB, like the transfer experience, and I did that. But after the transfer experience, here's the thing, what happened and how the LGBT Resource Center came to my rescue. So because I was in a coma and they didn't think I was going to live, I was living in a garage back then when I was at Long Beach State College. And my birth parents, my birth father and my birth brother, because they were the only ones alive, they were contacted and they ended up throwing all of my stuff away because they thought I was going to die. So they ended up throwing everything away. And well, the thing is, I woke up, and so when I woke up, I had nothing but I think a t-shirt to my name. And so I applied to TSP, and the great thing about that is that not only was I going to have housing, because I won a scholarship for that, but I was going to have my tuition and books, and I was like, great. I didn't have to worry about it. But after TSP, the fall semester starts, but here I have no home, no money. I'm disabled. I was in a wheelchair. I didn't even have teeth back then, actually. And what was I going to do? And so what happened is I actually went and talked to AAP, and this is where the ECRT team came in. And I met, actually, Raja. I met people from the Economic Crisis team, and really the LGBT Resource Center and the Bruin Guardian Scholars came to my rescue. And what they did is they found me a place to live, and I won the Morrison Scholarship. And so I was able to have a place to live, and that's all that really mattered. And so by then, I think I was using a cane, because what I did, I was really pushing myself. And that's how the LGBT Resource Center came to my rescue, and I became involved. And so I immediately started interviewing. And since then, it's been pretty amazing, individuals here, what they've helped me with, and I think part of the reason why I'm staying here. Yeah, so immediately when I had the opportunity to finally get back to the labor force, because after, I was able to walk again, and I use my cane from time to time, but people think it's like an accessory, and I'm really not. It's not an accessory, even though it's a cool cane. It's not an accessory. But yeah, as soon as I was actually no longer considered disabled. And I wanted to work. And I applied to be an academic peer counselor and with AP, and I actually did that since last year. After I interned here, I was academic peer counselor, and I met with students. And you know, we would do academic planning, we would talk about resources, we would talk about non-academic stuff. And yeah, it's a great job. Helped with trainings, orientations. And because I was also in the Bruin Guardian Scholars, I would participate in a lot of the meetings that there would be on campus. You know, whether you were talking about diversity issues or meetings about, you know, I remember there was some issues regarding race, and they would ask students to come be a part of it. I would be a part of that, and I met Dr. Montero, the Vice Chancellor, that way, plus in Bruin Guardian Scholars. And I found out that there was a position to be an intern with the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs. And I applied, and I am also working at the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs office. Which is what we're helping right now is the Bruin Day program with the Yield Committee, so all the student organizations. But just last month actually, because I'm preparing for law school now, I'm no longer at the AAP. I'm still an AAP member, but I'm not a peer counselor, but I'm at the UCLA School of Law now, working there, and still at the Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs office. So that's what I'm doing now. Yeah.
It's quite the schedule.
Yeah, I actually, I was just laughing with someone today about, they said, oh, you have some free time right now? And I started laughing, and I was like, haha, free time. I think I have probably a good 2 to 3 hours of free time the whole week, Monday through Friday, except when I sleep, and that's usually around midnight, and then I get up at 5. Because I'm a commuter too, I live in Long Beach, so take the bus and the train here to and from. Except Thursdays now, I get to sleep in someone's floor. I usually ask a friend of mine, and I'll sleep on the floor, and then, you know, I'm here the next day. And on the weekends, I do motivational speaking as well. So on the weekends, I've gone back to my community college, and 3 times I was invited, which I was really honored. And I talk to students, and you know, I tell them a little bit about my story, but I really, more than anything, try to get them to think about their own story. Because even though it's my story, it's only relevant to me. And so the goal is really for people to think about their own story, because it's really important. That's something really important that I really promote. And yeah, so that's sometimes what I do. And I'm a law fellow, so I do UCLA Law Fellow program on Saturdays from 9 to 5 at the School of Law. Because I'm preparing for law school, I am minoring in being a disabled student, becoming part of this community, the disabled community. And I do this because, yes, I understand that there are terms and the language that is known to describe certain communities. So I understand it. But at the same time, I do this because when I say disabled, because for me it's, I don't know, I still don't know how I feel about the term disabled. I think differently abled, perhaps. And I'm still researching that. But plus I'm finishing my disability studies minor. One word to me, when Bruin Pride, immediately thought about it, so I think I'm going to go with it, and it's eudaimonia. And I had to make sure that I got the definition correct, so I wrote it down. But this is actually a word that I've even used in some of, I think, my personal statements throughout. But eudaimonia is a state of having a good, indwelling spirit, or being in a contented state of being, health, happiness, and prosperity. So I would say Bruin Pride is eudaimonic or eudaimonia, but I would say that.